Hello Internet, and welcome to the second installment of the series where we try to build a substrate-based blockchain. So last time we built a very simple, we basically cloned a blockchain. We did a small bit of a change where we changed the internal logic of the blockchain, where we multiplied something that we put in by 100. This video, we're gonna try to actually build the logic of the blockchain, but again, baby steps. So let's start. I'm going to open up my VS Code. I'm going to pull this in here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our own palette here and call it stock exchange and have that included in the runtime, and we go from there. So let's start doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything that's in palette/template to stock exchange. Right, now that that's done, so you should see palette/stock exchange here. So obviously the build is going to break, so let's go ahead and fix it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our cargo toml. Okay, this already says that we want to include all the members here. So let's go here, and we're going to rename this from palette template to just palette stock exchange. Right, and now that this is done, we're going to see what this does. So we're going to go here and we're going to change the name of the module here as the stock exchange module. In fact, I'm just going to call it stock exchange. I think I'm going to drop module out of this. Now that this is done, I'm going to go to our mock and call this stock exchange as well. Which is going to be our module. This is just a type declaration. This doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to test and I'm going to rename this to let's see. No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't matter. Stock exchange. I'm gonna do this here as well. And go back here, the stock exchange. Right, so this is done. So let cargo check run on this. And yeah, I think whatever we needed to do on the palette side of things for this, I think that's about it. I think we changed cargo toml. We actually went to lib and we renamed the module here. And then we actually went to a mock and actually we renamed template module to stock exchange module here. I think everything else is just great. That should be fine. And we then go to tests and we say that should be there. I think that's that. So let's go ahead and go to our yeah, I think then we go to our runtime. So in our runtime, I think we would have a reference to palette template. So we're gonna include our palette here, which is palette stock exchange. Those are the palette slash stock exchange. This is good. And we're gonna go to librs, and this is going to include our palette stock exchange now. So let's include that. Pub use. Exchange. So we're gonna include our palette, and let's go to where the straight is configured. So we're gonna go to palette template, balances, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there we go. That's there. So we're gonna import our palette stock exchange rate for runtime, and we're going to have the same thing. We are going to alias our type, or we're going to associate our event type to the event type here. That's done. We're going to then include our stock exchange palette. Stock exchange palette underscore stock exchange module call storage event of t, and that's that. So I think all that we had to do to get the palette stock exchange here seems to have worked. So let's running a cargo check. Let's see if this works. All right, this seems to have worked. So it's checking no template. So everything seems to be fine. So let's go ahead and build this, deploy this, and see what happens. Cargo build, please. So it's building the runtime. That means that it already built the palette. So that's good because we just copied over the template palette. So it should be the same. Oh, I think it might. Hold on. I think this might still be failing because we didn't add our std here on this. So palette template std, because remember when we wrote our palette or when we copied our palette, we did say the default feature here is std, so it might have picked the default feature, but if it wasn't there, these are the features that it needs. So that should work. So let's see. It's building the template. We're almost at the home stretch of the compilation game here, but let's see what happens. And if you want to rename node template to something else, that could also be done because you don't want the output to be node template. So here, this is the name of that palette that's there. So you could quite as easily change it to something like stock exchange if you want. Yeah, let's do that actually. See, let's maybe kill this compilation process here, save this, and let's try building this. Specify bin path. Probably we just call this exchange here and call this that's about, I think we're calling runtime. I mean, this is just basic renaming cargo crates. Nothing complicated. Do this and we'll just wait for a bit for the compilation to succeed. Again, as I said, if you're coding in Rust, you have a lot of time in between. You can drink coffee, read something. All right, the build is run. It took about 5 minutes for the build to succeed this time. So let's go ahead and run this. So target release stock exchange. That's nice. I'm going to do a per chain. Just so I remove the dev chain. And okay, it didn't exist, so it's cool. So then I'm going to start this again. All right, so this started. So let's see what happens. Chrome, start that. Let's get to incognito mode. Sorry, Polkadot. Explorer. Let's get rid of this window. And let's connect to our local node from here. And let's switch. All right, that's sweet. So let's go to extrinsics. Let's see if our palette came up. Oh yeah, look, stock exchange palette. I mean, it still has the same two extrinsics because we copied over the template palette. We're going to change that, but this is sweet. So we got our own branded thing. So, although, yeah, I mean, it still calls it unit. I think it should have our token symbol. So let's do that. Let's actually get our token symbol here, and then let's go from there. So let's see. So go here, and let's go back to the node, and let's go to service, or let's go to change spec. I think we can do this here. Yeah. So we want to set some properties here. Okay, so I think we briefly talked about the dev chain here and how this works and all that. There is this properties extension, so that is a none, so that means that it's an option of properties. So if you see this change spec from okay, from Genesis. So properties is actually an option of properties, so that's what we're going to do. So, and that is in this package SC service, so let's get that. Properties, and we are going to get the then we get to the dev node. So right now we're just going to do this in dev, and then we'll change this later. Let mute properties. New, suppose. Is there a new method on it? Yeah, this is there. So as you can see, this is just a map string of value. Now, this value type that's here, that's in Serde, right? So this is the Serde, Serde JSON value. So that's what we're going to use. So to do that, we're going to say, so this got saved. So I think the semicolon is there. And then we're going to say, yeah. Symbol, and what should be this value, right? So let's look at this and say let symbol equals Serde. I think Serde JSON is not a part of this project. I'm not sure if it's in cargo. Let me quickly see. Yeah, Serde JSON is not as a part of the dependency. So let's add that. So let's go back to the terminal and say cargo, go to the node. Let's say cargo add Serde JSON. So that's done. So it added Serde JSON as the dependency. So we'll wait for, just do a quick this thing so that we'll wait for cargo check to catch up. And we should be able to do the string, which is, since I'm from Tarka Labs, we'll just call it Tarka Labs $ or TLD. And we'll use this as our symbol. And we will include this in our properties. So some properties. Since we're not using it anywhere, we can just, we don't have to borrow it. We can just pass it across. Yep. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and build this again. We'll kill the chain. So cargo build release. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it started. Good. Serde. So there was a compilation error here. So as you can see, I think we missed. I mean, there's no set. I think it's put here. I mean, I should have waited for cargo to catch up. Insert maybe. Yeah, insert properties. Insert token symbol to symbol. My bad. And this time let's wait for cargo check before we trigger the entire build. So this must be a string. So let me. Or I can just use an into, because into will work just fine. And this would be a symbol. So because there's a map of string and value, so this should work. So let me wait for cargo check, because I don't want to run the whole build and then find out that we are wrong. Okay, this seems to be okay. Cargo check is happy, so let's do that one more time. Hopefully this is faster than before. Right. So I mean, it just takes a long time. So, I mean, pretty much all my cores are pegged. Yeah, I have no idea why. It takes so much resources for just a small incremental change. Alright, so it's in the final step where it's producing binary. This is usually much faster. So once this is done, we're gonna purge it, start the chain again, and see where that goes. Alright, so this is built. Again, it has taken about 5 minutes. Sure felt much longer than that. So now that this is done, so let's try to purge this chain and start it. Target release, stock exchange, purge chain, dev, yep, target, stock exchange, dev. So let's start chain again, and let's go back to our console. This is there, and refresh this and go to counts, and yay, so we have our million TLDs and TLDs and all this kind of thing. So we have essentially renamed the binary, we have gotten our own token symbol in here, and we have basically copied a palette and added it here. So let's see. Now we're going to add a couple of transactions to this, and let's see how that goes.